Thank you so much for joining. The meeting will begin at 5 p.m. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the virtual public meeting for the State Road 84 Improvements Project. My name is Rebecca Guerrero, and today is Monday, July 26, 2021, and we are currently on slide 1. So moving on to slide 2, Like I said, my name is Rebecca Guerrero. I am the moderator and presenter today for today's meeting. I am the community outreach specialist and I am with the Coordino group. Today's meeting format will consist of a presentation, question and answer portion between 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. An unguided PowerPoint slideshow will play afterwards if time allows. Moving on to slide 3, the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The Florida Department of Transportation is required to comply with various non-description laws and regulations, including Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Public participation is solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Persons wishing to express concerns about Title VI may do so by contacting either District 4 Title VI Coordinator, Sharon, or the statewide Title VI Coordinator, Jacqueline. All inquiries or concerns will be handled according to FDOT procedure and in a prompt and courteous manner. Moving on to slide 4. Today's virtual public meeting orientation. All attendees will remain muted throughout the meeting. All attendees are welcome to submit questions or comments using the GoTo webinar control panel at any time. A member of the team will respond during the question and answer session. This virtual public meeting is being recorded and it will be available afterwards on the project website, as well as submitted via email to all registrants. Moving on to slide 4, virtual public meeting orientation. Dial-in attendees are in listen-only mode. If you experience any technical difficulties, please contact GoToWebinar support at 833-851-8340. Moving on to slide 6, GoToWebinar control panel. Questions and comments can be entered into the chat feature for the team to address directly. If you want to speak, please click the hand raise icon. The blue arrow is pointing at it, and that'll notify the team that you'd like to speak, and we can go ahead and unmute you. You can also submit your questions into the question pane where the red arrow is and click send. This meeting is being recorded and it will be posted to d4fdot.com. Moving on to slide 7, the team and our presenters today. We have Donald Van Werven. He is the FDOT Construction Project Manager. We have Eric Sivila. He is the Senior Project Engineer with AMP Engineers. Rhonda Rupert, who is the Project Administrator. She's also with AMP Engineers. And we also have Guillermo Gomez. He's the Engineer of Record with the design team with Gannett Fleming. And then we have Christian Navarro, who's the Contractors Project Manager, and he is with OHL USA. Moving on to slide 8. Please enjoy the project video, which includes information on the improvements to be completed, along with road and lane closure information. We will start the question and answer session after the video. Good evening, everyone. I apologize. We're having some technical difficulties with the video, but nevertheless, we're going to continue on. Moving on to slide 9, project overview. The purpose of this project is to improve safety, durability, and rideability. The length of this project is 4 miles long. Our contractor is OHL USA Inc. and construction is starting. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm sorry about that, guys. Back to project overview. The construction start date is August 2nd, 2021, and our estimated contract cost is $4.4 million. Contract time is 480 calendar days, but that does not include any weather or holidays that will be added to the contract. Estimated completion is early 2023. Moving on to slide 10, project improvements. So the improvements in this project include I'm sorry, give me one. Project improvements include milling and resurfacing the roadway, resurfacing the roadway, and pavement markings. Widening the shoulder along State Road 84, installing bicycle lanes at Indian Trace and Glades Parkway, and repairing guardrail as needed along westbound State Road 84. Again, the project limits are Glades Parkway all the way to Weston Road.
So hi, good afternoon. I'm Eric Sibila. I'm with AMP Engineers. I'm the Senior Project Engineer for the Construction Engineering and Inspection team. I'll be going over on the next few slides some typical sections, basically showing the ultimate or the final configuration of the road after the improvements are completed. The first one that we'll be showing is the eastbound State Road 84. As you know, this is an existing 2-lane road, both lanes going in the eastbound direction. These lanes will be milled and resurfaced. There will also be some overbuild for cross slope correction. The inside shoulder will also be milled and resurfaced, and the outside shoulder will now be 10 feet wide, the first 7 feet of which will be paved. There will also be some work on the ditch or on the swale outside of the outside shoulder, which will be excavated and made a little deeper to provide better drainage. Here's a typical section of westbound 84, westbound State Road 84. This is slide number 12. Westbound State Road 84 will be milled, resurfaced, and overbuilded as well. When we refer to overbuild, we're talking about correcting the cross slope of the road with the asphalt. The inside shoulder is well, there's a 2-foot paved inside shoulder, and there's an 8-foot outside shoulder with existing guardrail to remain, and that protects it from the North New River Canal. This is a typical section of Glades Parkway. Glades Parkway, well, this typical section, the right side shows the northbound direction and the left side shows the southbound direction. I didn't mention the slide at the beginning. This is slide number 13. The ultimate configuration of this roadway will have on the northbound an 11-foot travel lane followed by chevrons, then a 5-foot bike lane and a 13-foot turn lane. On the southbound side, there will be 2 12-foot travel lanes, then a bike lane, and then a variable width travel lane. There will also be some widening done on the shoulder of the southbound lanes, and the whole road will be milled and resurfaced as well. This is slide number 14. This shows Indian Trace. Indian Trace, same as on the previous slide. The northbound direction is on the right side of the screen, and the southbound direction is on the left side of the screen. In the northbound, you'll have 1 travel lane, followed by chevrons, followed by a bike lane, and then a turn lane. And on the southbound side, on the inside, you'll have a variable width turn lane, followed by 2 travel lanes, a bike lane, and a right turn lane. The whole road will also be milled and resurfaced.
Maintenance of traffic. So we're currently on slide 15. Lane closure details. Single lane closures are permitted while construction activities are taking place. State Road 84 entrance and exit ramp closures are permitted between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Sunday through Thursday night. Pedestrian access will be maintained at all times. Additional lane closure information will be provided in the weekly traffic report distributed by FDOT. Moving on to slide 16, public safety is our top priority. Work zone signage. We have advanced warning and project signage that's will be placed throughout the construction corridor. Lighted message boards will be located at the eastern and western project limits. Ongoing coordination with local agencies and businesses to ensure bus route accessibility and access at all times. And some of the agencies that we're working with is Broward County Traffic Engineering Division, first responders, City of Weston, City of Sunrise, and the City of Dania Beach. Moving on to slide 17, community outreach. So for more information on the project, we do have a project-specific website that's located at www.d4fdot.com. There we post lane closure information. We also have progress photos and any other pertinent information about the project. Our weekly lane closure press release is sent out every Friday. And if you want to be added to our distribution list, please contact me at 954-940-7605 or via email rguerrero@coradino.com. So moving on, we do have a representative from the Broward MPO that'd like to briefly speak regarding the MPO's involvement on the project. So I'm going to go ahead and
Hi, this is Benjamin Restrepo from the Broward MPO. I just want to give an introduction onto what the MPO is. The Broward MPO is a federally chartered entity responsible for transportation decisions making in Broward region. We influence the expenditure of federal and state transportation funds at the regional level. The Broward MPO has 31 municipalities in Broward County. Also, the Broward County School Board and the South Florida Regional Transportation Authority, which is TriRail, is also part of the MPO board. The MPO develops plans and conducts studies and establishes initiatives and programs. This project fell into our Complete Streets and Other Localized Initiatives program, which is the Broward MPO's competitive grant program that provides funding opportunities for small local transportation projects, which improve the safety and mobility for all transportation users in Broward County. The program can fund projects such as, but not limited to, complete streets projects, traffic calming, and intersection improvements, ADA upgrades, mobility hubs, bus shelters, bike racks, and technology advancements such as transit signal priority and traffic calming devices. Applicants are required to submit program-ready projects with proof of roadway ownership, well-defined scope of work, partner collaboration, cost estimate documentation of public outreach, and resolutions of support. The following projects were submitted by the City of Weston in 2015, and the projects were awarded funding, which is the State Road 84 Resurfacing Improvements Project, FM number 438117-1.
So we've reached the question and answer portion. Questions and comments can be entered into the chat feature for the team to address directly. Like I said before, the red arrow is pointing to the chat box. Also, if you'd like to ask your question verbally, you can go ahead and click that hand raised icon, and that'll let us know that you'd like to ask your question verbally. Does anybody have any questions regarding our presentation, or if you'd like us to go back to a specific slide, we can. So one of the questions that we have is, will there be any full closures? Our senior project engineer, Eric Sivila, he'll go ahead and answer that question.
Thank you for the question. So the intent of the project was designed to minimize impact to the public as much as possible. State Road 84, the main line of State Road 84, so the eastbound and westbound directions, will only have one lane closed at a time. And as you know, it's a 2-lane road, so there'll always be access. So we'll never have full closures on State Road 84. However, on the small section, the small section along Weston Road that goes under I-75 or the I-75 underpass, there is a short detour there. Traffic going along eastbound State Road 84 will go to Northwest 136th Avenue and then come back along westbound State Road 84 to cross over, from east to west as they would have typically done along Western Road. Other than that, there are no closures, no full closures.
Another question I see is, when will this presentation be available with the slides and the video? I had a blank screen, a few slides quickly removed. So that'll send via email after our meeting. You should get that tomorrow. And I'm also going to post it on the D4 website, that project specific website. It's located at d4fdot.com. But you'll receive an email from me, Mary Jane. So I see another question. It says, will bicycle lanes be separated somehow from the main road?
So I guess I'm not sure whether the question is referring to during construction or in the ultimate configuration, but I can touch on both. Ultimately, so on State Road 84, there aren't existing bike lanes. But the shoulder and there's not going to be bike lanes at the end either because of the speed. The speed of the road doesn't allow officially to have bike lanes, but the shoulder is being widened, so that does accommodate a much larger or much wider area separated from the road, and provides an extra measure of safety from the travel lanes. And as I mentioned during the presentation, there's also some bike lanes being added to some of the side streets. So the ultimate configuration of the side streets will typically have bike lanes separated from the road, dedicated bike lanes.
Julio, does that answer your question? Again, you can also click the hand raised icon if you just want to ask your question verbally. That'll let us know that we can go ahead and unmute you. Okay, Julio, yes. Okay, so not really. Are the bicycle lanes on State Road 84 or on the mentioned streets? So part of the improvements on this project is actually widening the shoulder. Where we're installing the bicycle lanes is at Indian Trace and at
Parkway.
And Glades Parkway.
So Julio, I guess to specifically answer your question, there will be no officially dedicated bike lanes on State Road 84. The bike lanes will be on the side streets.
Hi, Julio. Yes. Okay, let me go back to that typical section that we have, and we can kind of have our senior project engineer explain there. Give me 1 second so I can switch on over. So Julio, just so that you have a better understanding, on State Road 84 itself, no bike lanes are being installed. The only thing that we're doing is widening the shoulder. As far as the bicycle lanes being installed at Glades Parkway and Indian Trace, we're only installing it right there at the intersection, which is probably, I want to say, 300 to 400 feet. But we can definitely set up a field meeting with you, with the project team, so you can get a better understanding of how far back we're going, and you can see it on the field if that's something that you'd like to do with us. Yes, Julio. So I'm going to share this via email. So you'll receive an email with me from me tomorrow. And I'm also going to post it on the project specific website. Okay. So if we don't have any more questions, we're going to give the presentation all over again now at 5:30. You're more than welcome to stay on and see the presentation again in case there was something you might have missed or didn't understand. But thank you so much for joining us. And we will begin the second presentation shortly. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the second portion of the State Road 84 resurfacing project from Glades Parkway to Weston Road. Today is Monday, July 26, 2021. We're currently on slide 1. Moving on to slide 2. Today's virtual public meeting orientation. My name is Rebecca Guerrero, and I am the moderator and presenter for today's meeting. I am the community outreach specialist for the project, and I am with the Cordino group. Today's meeting format is a presentation and question and answer session. We just completed the 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. portion. We're moving on to the 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. portion. We are on slide 3. The Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The Florida Department of Transportation is required to comply with various non-description laws and regulations, including Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Public participation is solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Persons wishing to express concerns about the Title VI may do so by contacting either the District 4 Title VI Coordinator, Sharon, or the statewide Title VI Coordinator, Jacqueline. All inquiries or concerns will be handled according to FDOT procedure and in a prompt and courteous manner. Moving on to slide 4. Sorry about that, guys. We're on slide 4, which is the virtual public meeting orientation. All attendees will remain muted throughout the meeting. Attendees are welcome to submit their questions and answers using the GoToWebinar control panel at any time for a project team member to answer. The virtual public meeting is being recorded and it will be available afterwards on the project website as well as submitted via email to all registrants. Moving on to slide 4. Dial-in attendees are in listen-only mode, and if you experience any technical difficulties throughout our meeting, you can contact the GoToWebinar support at 833-851-8340. Moving on to slide 6, the GoToWebinar control panel. Questions and comments can be entered into the chat feature for the team to address directly. To speak, please click the hand raised icon, and that'll let us know that you'd like to ask your question verbally, and we can go ahead and unmute you. You can also submit your question in the question chat box, and we can where the red arrow is pointing. This meeting is being recorded, and it will be posted to the www.d4fdot.com website. So with us today is the team. We have Donald Van Werven. He is the construction project manager out of Broward Operations. We have Eric Sivila. He is the senior project engineer and he is with AMP Engineers. We have Rhonda Rubert. She is the project administrator and she is with AMP Engineers. We have Guillermo Gomez and he is with Gannett Fleming and he's the engineer of record. We also have Christian Navarro, our contractor. He is a project manager and he is with OHL USA. We are currently on slide 7 and moving on to slide 8. We are having some technical difficulties with our video, so we're going to go ahead and just do our presentation live. So the project overview, the purpose of this project is to improve safety, durability, and rideability. The length of this project is 4 miles. The contractor is OHL USA Inc. Construction is starting August 2nd, 2021, and the estimated contract cost is $4.4 million. Contract time is 480 calendar days, but this does not include any weather or holidays that will be added to the contract. Estimated completion is early 2023. Moving on to slide 10, project improvements. So the project improvements included in our project is milling and resurfacing the roadway and replacing pavement markings, widening the shoulder along State Road 84, installing bicycle lanes at Indian Trace and Glades Parkway, repairing guardrail as needed along westbound State Road 84. Again, our project limits are Glades Parkway to Weston Road along State Road 84. And now we're going to move on to slide 11. And Eric Sivila, our senior projects engineer for the project, can speak on these slides.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is slide 11. The next few slides will show the typical sections, which basically show the configuration of the roadway along different areas of the project. This first typical section is eastbound State Road 84. The existing configuration is a 2-lane, both in the eastbound direction roadway. These 2 lanes will be milled and resurfaced. There will also be some overbuild. When you see overbuild in these typical sections, basically overbuild is correcting the cross slope of the road with the asphalt to provide better drainage, make the road safer. So the 2 eastbound lanes will be milled and resurfaced, and cross slope will be corrected with overbuild. The inside shoulder will also be paved. The inside shoulder will also be milled and resurfaced. The outside shoulder will be widened to a total of 10 feet. The first 7 feet out of those 10 will be paved. The ditch or the swale outside of that outside shoulder will also be excavated a little deeper to improve the drainage conditions along the project corridor. And this typical section basically depicts these different improvements that I just mentioned. This is slide 12. This is westbound State Road 84. Similar to on the eastbound side, there will also be milling, resurfacing, and overbuild. Along westbound State Road 84, there will be no widening. The entire road, including both shoulders, inside and outside, will be milled and resurfaced. This is a typical section for Glades Parkway. Basically, it's about a 375-foot section that is connecting the existing bike lanes along Glades Parkway to State Road 84. The entire road will be milled and resurfaced. Basically, on the left side of the screen, you're looking at the southbound direction. On the right side of the screen is the northbound direction. Going from northbound to southbound, on the northbound side, you'll have an 11-foot travel lane on the inside, followed by a chevron of varying width, a 5-foot bike lane, and a 13-foot turn lane. Then on the southbound side, you'll have 2 12-foot travel lanes, a 4 to 5 foot wide bike lane, followed by a varying width travel lane also on the outside. And then there will be a little bit of widening, 2 to 3 feet of the outside shoulder. This is a typical section for Indian Trace. This is slide number 14. Similar to the previous slide, the left side of the screen is the southbound and the right side is the northbound. On the northbound side, at the end of the project, you'll have a single travel lane followed by chevrons, a 5-foot bike lane, and a turn lane. On the southbound side, you'll have a left turn lane, 2 travel lanes, bike lane, and a variable width turn lane. The entire road will also be milled and resurfaced.
So moving on to slide 15, maintenance of traffic. Single lane closures are permitted while construction activities are taking place. State Road 84 entrance and exit ramp closures are permitted between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Sunday through Thursday night. Pedestrian access will be maintained at all times. Additional lane closure information will be provided in the weekly traffic report distributed by FDOT. Moving on to slide 16, maintenance of traffic. Public safety is our top priority. Work zone signage, we have advanced warning and project signage that's going to be placed throughout the project limits. Lighted message boards will be located at the eastern and western project limits. Ongoing coordination with local agencies and businesses to ensure bus route accessibility and access at all times. Some of the agencies that we're coordinating with is Broward County Traffic Engineering Division, first responders, the City of Weston, City of Sunrise, and City of Davie. Moving on to slide 17, community outreach. For more information on the project, you can visit the project-specific website located at www.d4fdot.com. There we will post a weekly lane closure press release that includes lane closures. We also post project photos. Any pertinent project information will be posted there, as well as this video. Please contact me, Rebecca, if you want to be added to our distribution list. at 954-940-7605 or rguerrero@cordino.com. So before we get into the question or comment section, we have a member from the Broward MPO that will speak on their role on this project.
Okay. Hello, this is Benjamin Restrepo from the Broward MPO. Just want to give you some information on what the Broward MPO is. The Broward MPO is a federally chartered entity responsible for transportation decision-making in the Broward County region. Broward MPO influences the expenditure of federal and state transportation funds at the regional level. The Broward MPO is composed of 31 municipalities, Broward County School Board, and the South Florida Regional Transit Authority, which is TRIRO. The Broward MPO also develops plans, conducts studies, and establishes initiatives and programs. The bicycle lanes that you see on the two cross streets with State Road 84 are part of the Complete Streets and Other Localized Initiatives program. This program is set by the Broward MPO, and it is a competitive grant program that provides funding opportunities for small local transportation projects, which improve the safety and mobility for all transportation users in Broward County. The program can fund projects such as, but not limited to, complete streets projects, traffic calming and intersection improvements, ADA upgrades, mobility hubs, bus shelters, bike racks, and technology advancements such as transit signal priority and traffic control devices. Applicants are required to submit program-ready projects with proof of roadway ownership, well-defined scope of work, partner collaboration, cost estimate, documentation of public outreach, and resolutions of support. This following project was submitted by the City of Weston in 2015 and was awarded funding. Thank you.
All right. Good evening. So this is Fazil Qureshi from the Broward MPO. So when these projects are submitted for a CSIP application, we do go through a process to rank these projects with various ranking criteria. Once the projects are ranked, we also vet the projects with FDOT. That normally takes about a year, and then once the projects are vetted by FDOT and by the Broward MPO, then the project is programmed in the 5th year, depending upon how much funding is available. So generally, it takes about 6 years, unfortunately, for the project to begin design, but that is the process that's set forth, and that meets the federal criteria for programming projects under transportation improvement or the Transportation Improvement Program, the TIP, for Broward County.
Thank you, Patricia. Does that answer your question? Does anybody else have another question that they'd like to ask? Any other slide that you'd like us to go back to? We can definitely do that. Perfect. Thank you so much, Patricia. One of the questions we have is, will this impact the ramps on I-75? So Eric Sivila, our senior project engineer, he's going to go ahead and answer that question.
So yes, the project was designed with the intent of minimizing impacts as much as possible. Unfortunately, there's some work that takes place that makes it impossible to completely avoid the shutdown of specific ramps that we would, like to minimize. There are specific cases where the on or off ramps to I-75 will be shut down. We will try during construction to minimize the duration of that as much as possible. In every instance where this happens, there's a detour that will be put in place. Notification will be given to the public. There'll be plenty of signage out on the road to guide traffic in the proper direction. Typically, when one ramp is shut down, traffic will be guided to the next ramp in that same bound, where they'll be able to easily access I-75.
So Patricia, I see that you asked if in the in-person meeting there'll be representatives to speak about other projects in Weston. Are these about ongoing construction projects, or are you interested in future construction projects? Because ongoing, I can definitely try to answer any questions you have. Future, okay. I don't have a list of the future projects right now. What I can do is I can get with the department and their design and other departments that they have, and I can follow up with you regarding that. Our meeting is to, okay, I-75 interchange and Royal Palm specifically. Patricia, is your question, is that the actual interchange, if we're changing the interchange, or if there's any projects located there? Correct, Edward. No, there's not going to be separated bike lanes on State Road 84. Our improvements include widening the shoulder. Okay. Another question that we have says, will there be lane closures at the opening stages of the project?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand on over to Eric.
Yes, so the bulk of the work on this project involves work that requires lane closures. We anticipate that the work that's going to be done at the beginning of the job will involve single lane closures on eastbound State Road 84. The intent right now, I mean, this is subject to change, but the intent is to begin with eastbound State Road 84 and then do westbound toward the end of the job. So it seems like there will be single lane closures of the outside lane of eastbound State Road 84 toward the beginning of the job.
Any other questions? I'm not seeing any more questions flowing through. Is there any slide that anybody would like to have us go back to? Or also, there's also the raised the raised hand icon. If you want to speak verbally, you can. Will the speed limit change?
The speed limit will be 45 miles per hour throughout construction.
So there will not be any speed limit changes throughout construction.
So I'm not sure if originally when I spoke, if I was on mute or not, but so during construction, speed is going to be 45 miles per hour. After construction is completed, we'll be going back to the original speed limit of the road.
Any other questions? We have about 8 more minutes until we host our in-person meeting at the District 4 and District 6 Materials Office, which will have project team on staff to answer any questions that you have. We have our project plan sheets as well. Please feel free to stop by, get to know us. We'll answer any question that you have, any concern you have. We're here to put your minds at ease. What happens if the contractor does not finish on time?
So just to overall, the purpose of us being the construction engineer and inspection team here, one of the things that we do is monitor the budget and the schedule of the project. So at the beginning of each job, we receive a baseline schedule that pretty much projects all the activities that will be taking place throughout the entire job. Every month we receive an update based on the previous month's activities and the completion of those activities. So the purpose of this is to monitor construction throughout, to make sure that the contractor does finish on time. If we see that at a certain point the contractor is falling behind and we feel that that the schedule is delayed and the project isn't projected to finish on time, we'll be having meetings with the contractor to try to discuss alternatives of working longer shifts, having additional crews, allocating resources appropriately to be able to finish the project on time. Ultimately, there is a penalty that FDOT refers to as liquidated damages, wherein if the contractor goes over the project time, they're penalized per day that they finish late. So there's definitely a huge disincentive on the contractor side to finish the project late. So all these different mechanisms are what we use to make sure that the project finishes within the appropriate schedule.
I hope that answered your question. Anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns? We can definitely go back throughout the slides as well. We have about 5 minutes left of our virtual public meeting before we have our in-person construction open house. All right, thank you so much for joining us. This concludes our meeting for today. Again, throughout construction, if you have any question, comments, or concerns, you can contact myself, Rebecca Guerrero, at rguerrero@coradino.com, or you can give me a call at 954-940-7605. We're here to help throughout construction. Everyone have a good evening. Thank you.